But I really believe personal relationships and personal da'wah is so easy to do. You know, you meet somebody, your neighbor comes down and opens the door, or you know, somebody, you meet him in the street, or the person that, you know, you meet in the shop. It's really not difficult to just present a good image of Islam and say a few words to people about Islam, about your religion. Don't hide your religion from people. Try to share it with people, wallahi. Because if we can bring more, we all complain about the fasad in our country, right? All of us complain. Oh, there's so much haram, there's so much evil, there's so much, you know, things are going downhill. But wallahi, if we bring Islam to people, that's what will correct the people, right? What corrected the people in the time of the Sahaba? The Sahaba were upon Jahiliyyah. The Sahaba were upon killing each other and burying their children alive and all daughters alive and all of this stuff that was going on, and worshipping idols, and they became upon that much goodness because of what Islam brought them. So we need to share Islam with the people. Even if you can't share it in a big way, share it in a small way. Just share it among, wallahi, I know a brother, I'm not going to mention his name, like a brother, wallahi, a young brother. I think age-wise, I don't know how old he is, but he's like in his mid-teens, like maybe 14, 15. And he used to come to me and tell me the people he was giving da'wah to. Wallahi, the number of people that he gave da'wah to and it's like a 14-year-old kid, 15-year-old kid, that he gave da'wah to, and Allahu A'lam, a large number. And actively saying, yeah, this person, and I'm trying to tell this person about Islam, and try and tell that person about Islam. Wallah, if they can do it, why can we not do it? Just small conversations, maybe just with your neighbor. It doesn't have to be like you hold them and say, you know, I'm going to tell you about Islam, but just gently, like, you know, you have a religion, or you might have seen me wearing this because I'm a Muslim. Do you know much about Islam? Or it could be a little conversation. I know a taxi driver who does the halal side of taxi driving, not the haram side. And I don't know how many tens and tens of people took shahada from the back of his taxi. And he's just driving in the taxi and he's just talking to them, driving them to the airport. It's like, oh, where are you going? Okay, you know, you're going to this country. It just starts a conversation. And a large number accepted Islam. And the third person I'm going to tell you about is an older uncle. Wallahi, I think the number of people who accepted Islam in the hundreds and hundreds of people accepted Islam from him. And he never goes to any street corner with a megaphone. He doesn't, literally all he does is just go, for example, to a little place that he knows on the coast, and he just walks up and down and talks to people. And he actually recently said to me, can you get me copies of the Quran? I said, yeah, of course I can get you copies of the Quran. How many do you need? He said, well, how long for? I said, okay, in a year, how many do you need? And he said something like 500. I was like, 500? In a year? He's like, yeah, that's how many people like I talk to, and I don't give it to anyone unless they're interested and ready to accept Islam. Or 300 or 400 or something, he said to me, 350, 400, like a big number, hundreds. Just goes to the corner, like just a coast. And he's just like a promenade where people walk up and down, and he just sits down on the chair and people sit next to him, and he's just like, oh, you know, he's just uncle. Where are you from? What are you doing? How's everything? Yeah, it's nice weather today. Just talks to them about Islam. It gets Islam in there somehow, and like, why don't you become Muslim? You should think, you know, what can I ask you about your religion? Just little like just like organic, natural conversation that comes up. Now, I'm not saying it's anything bad if you can preach from the rooftops, alhamdulillah. Like, and all of us probably feel a bit nervous to do that, but like, why can't you just have, you know how many in a day, how many non-Muslims you come across? Many. This is my advice. Allah. Yes.